The story begins as this kid was killing this Shikigami as told by his elders, as he has an unpleasant feeling that he realized that his own family has betrayed him and they lure him out here to kill him. They all uses their spiritual power on him as he thinks they have prepared to such extent to kill him. He asks them their reason for killing him. He tells them it's because he is too strong for them, as his ability is a hindrance for the Tsuchimi Kato family. He tells them, so you are afraid of him. They all attack him together. His strongest Shikigami was sealed away, and his spiritual power is restraints, as he is now he can't beat them, but he will keep fighting until the very end, as he was on the verge of dying. Then he uses his last paper doll and does the forbidden art circle of transmigration, which is an art for reincarnation, and thinks he will do better in his next life. Then he wakes up on a bed as he sees his blonde hair and gets excited as the reincarnation was a success. The memories of this person in which his body he was reincarnated flows into his head. As in this world there are no spiritual techniques, instead there is magic, and his situation in this world doesn't seem to be good for him. His name is Wayne Granato. He is the third son of Granato's family. The admission exams for a magic academy named Arcella Academy are coming up. But his reputation in the family is not great, as nobody expects him to pass the exam because Wayne Granato doesn't have any talent in magic, as he understands the situation he is currently in, as Wayne doesn't have any mana, but now he possesses tremendous amount of spiritual power. But in this world no one knows about the spiritual powers. He thinks maybe that's why he got reincarnated as Wayne, as he doesn't mana, but now he has so much power, which seems to be too extreme. He was happy being reincarnated with his powers, but also remembers he was betrayed by his family because he was too strong. After that he goes to library to read some books to understand the world he got reincarnated in. After reading few books he realized this is not the world he knew before. The culture, ecosystem are different. There are demons and beasts which are dangerous, just ayakashis from his world. Also a lot of people gets attacked by these demons every year. There is not any description for spiritual power, and instead there is only magic, which is used to fight against the demons. As he expected, no one know about his powers in this world, as in his previous life he always protected people by working in dark, cause he didn't want any attention, and because of that he was eliminated. But in this life he will show his power to everyone, as he doesn't have any regrets from his previous life, but he will never let that happen again. Then these two guys comes in and started bad-mouthing him, as he will never be able to pass the entry exam for the Magic Academy. Their names are Harold and Dean. These two are Wayne's older brothers who always bully him, as their late father left his family estate to Wayne, his third son. As his father's last words to Wayne was that he wants him to inherit the family, as their territory is weak, what they need isn't power but wisdom, as Wayne is very smart, but he tells his father even if he succeed in the family nobody will agree to accept him. His father tells him that he need to build his position to convince everyone as his brother are both selfish and doesn't fit to be the lord of this territory. Wayne says he will do everything he can to become the lord. That day his father passed away. In other words, to convince his brothers and his family that he is fit to be the head. He has to enter the Magic Academy of Arcella. Wayne tells them if he is able to enter the academy, he will have control over the territory. His brothers are surprised to hear this, as he tells them again, and they started laughing and think this must be a joke. Wayne tells them he is not joking, and says let's bet on whether I will pass or fail the admission exam. His brother asks him what he will do if he doesn't pass the exam. Wayne says he will give everything that father left him to them, but if he does pass the exam his brothers will be expelled from the Granato family. His brothers love this idea, as Wayne don't have any mana, and he will never get accepted by the academy. Wayne tells them everything will be revealed on the day of exam. They tell him they are looking forward to it as they leave the room. Wayne thinks they must be planning something to place that kind of bet, but if anything does happens he will take care of everything using his Onmyo Jutsu. Then he says he should revive his Shinigamis using Onmyo Jutsu. This jutsu is activated by reciting mantra, which consume its own spiritual power using Paper's doll as a catalyst, which is similar to the magic that today's world. Wayne doesn't have any mana, but his body is filled with spiritual power. As he was about to use his Onmyo Jutsu on a paper doll, a voice comes in saying, "Why are you hesitating, Master Wayne?" As he gets surprised and thinks it must Kijin. The voice tells him he is indeed Kijin, as has have for Wayne to wake up. Wayne gets excited thinking all of his Shikigamis are also here, which are none other than the Shikigami of the 12 heavenly generals, and they are all in great condition. Wayne gets happy as he got reincarnate, but still they will serve him. Wayne stand up and uses his jutsu to summon all the 12 heavenly generals, and all 12 of them get summoned safely to his room. but most of them vanish as Wayne doesn't have much spiritual power to maintain all 12 of their bodies. Only 3 of them will remain as they bow to Wayne. First is a girl named Kijin, second is named Suzaku, and lastly third girl named Dain. As Dain tells Wayne that he has become a pretty boy, Kijin tells her that it is rude to say that to Master Wayne. Wayne is happy to see them as none of them has changed. Then they realize why there is only 3 of them. They gets excited thinking 3 must be the chosen ones from the 12 heavenly generals. Then Wayne tells them that he didn't have spiritual power, that's why he could only summons them. They ask Wayne about the upcoming admission exams, and also Wayne brothers they want to get back at them quickly. Wayne says to them he will soon get them back as he is enrolling in Arsala Academy to get top score. Everyone gets excited as Kijin asks Wayne, will those 2 brothers of yours will quietly be expelled when you pass the exam, as they don't believe he will pass and sure they will retaliate, but it won't be a problem for Wayne. As soon Wayne enters the academy, he wants to get rid of his image being a dropout who can't use magic. Kijin asks Wayne does the opinion of those people matter to him. Wayne tells them that's where things went in his previous life. Back then, he didn't the spotlight and did everything from the dark, due to which the respect from his family fell to the ground as he moved freely without belonging to anyone despite being the strongest. As a result, they betrayed him and killed him. But in this life, Wayne wants to be recognized as the strongest by everyone and will have comrades that will not betray or rebel against him. They all think it's a great idea. Wayne asks Kijin to take the admission exam too. Wayne thinks having her beside him will help him to get the top spot in school. Dain gets upset as she wants to go too. Wayne tells her as Kijin is wisest among the 12 generals as he give her a pat on her head. Kijin get really happy hearing Wayne praise her. Suzaku tells Kijin that the magic subjects are different than spiritual arts, she will be able to learn them. As she thinks about it, Wayne tells them no problem as Shikigami doesn't sleep. He has prepared books for her to read. They tell Kijin to hang in there as Wayne tells them to go back as he need to keep Kijin summoned here. They said ok, and Kijin says she will do her best too. The next day, Wayne and Kijin starts to travel to Arsala, as Kijin is studying her books in the carriage. Wayne senses a large manna about 3 kilometers from their carriage, and thinks that it must be demon. Kijin says should she go and take care of the demon. Wayne says no, it's fine, just keep studying. He will take care of it. Wayne uses his spatial transfer to go where the beast is. He finds him. It's a Class A demon beast named Chimera. Wayne says that he will be his warm-up before his entrance exams. Beast attacks Wayne. He dodges the attack and uses spiral raging flames and burns the monster in an instant. After defeating the beast, he thinks he is still good as he was in his previous life. Wayne comes back to the carriage and Kijin tells him he is still impressed as ever. Then the guard sees the burned body of the beast and thinks what kind of great mage would have defeated the beast, as Wayne says who could it be. After that, they arrive at the Arsala royal capital, as the exams for the academy are merit-based, so no one's status matter here. People from all over the continents comes and only strong people can pass the entrance exam. As they both comes forward and was walking towards the academy, a noble sees Wayne. What is this dunce doing here who can't even use magic? Kijin gets mad, but Wayne stops her. Wayne says, isn't you Simon, who was famous for riding his parents' coattails, as Simon won't need help from his parents on this entrance exam. Simon gets mad and tells Wayne not to get ahead of himself. Simon was going to attack Wayne using his magic, then suddenly a girl stops him and tells him she won't tolerate this if he continue any longer. Simon backs down as she is the sword princess and tells Wayne he will deal with him later and leaves. Wayne says thank you to her for saving him, as Wayne remembers her name is Sophie, and she is the Count's eldest daughter of Norbert family, one of the 7 nobles. She tells Wayne that he shouldn't have gotten provoked by him as he doesn't know how bad he can be. Wayne starts lauding and tells her thanks for her concern, but he will be fine. Sophie tells Wayne that his character has changed. Wayne is surprised to hear this, but she tells him to forget about it and leaves. Wayne thinks she is very observant as she notices the change in his personality. Kijin gets upset as she thinks there are a lot of rude people here, so she should get rid of them. As Wayne calms her down and tells her they want more of these type of people, so she doesn't need to react every time. Then they enter the hall and comes into their classroom for the written exam. Kijin finds her seat as she sit. Wayne speaks to her using his telepathy and tells her that he will tell her the answer just before the exam ends. Kijin tells him she shouldn't had to study then. Wayne says he will tell her, but she must first solve it by herself. As she understands now, the exam begins. As Wayne finds some questions difficult but was able to do them in the end, and also fix Kijin wrong answers as well. She says she will do her best to live up to Wayne's expectations for the remaining exams. Wayne tells her of course she will. As they move to the chanting exams, a student uses a flame arrow and fired to the target. Wayne sees it and thinks they are not as good as he thought they will be, which means he has to limit his spiritual power even more than before. Now it's Wayne's turn. He limits his Onyu Jutsu, but still destroyed the target into pieces. Everyone is surprised to see this. Simon says he must be cheating as he doesn't have any mana. How can he use such magic? All the other students also thinks he must be cheating. Then their instructor tells them if he is cheating or it will be decided after the exams. Then he called Kijin as she was next. Wayne is relieved as he got through the first half of the exam. Simon tells Wayne that he will not be able to cheat in practical exams. As they both were talking, Kijin also uses the same attack Wayne uses and destroyed the target. Everyone is shocked as Wayne shakes his head cause he forgot to tell her to keep her powers in check. After that they move to the stadium where the practical exams are held. Students fights with each to demonstrate their skills. Simon tells Wayne does he know who is his opponent. Wayne tells him he doesn't care. Instructor call the students for their duel, who is Simon and Wayne. Simon requested the academy to have his duel with Wayne. Wayne says, "Isn't that cheating?" Simon says he will expose him in front of everyone. Wayne tells him, "Do you think you can take me down?" Simon gets mad and tells him he will beat him. They face each other and the match begins. Simon uses a red crystal and makes a big fireball and fires it towards Wayne. Wayne says using a fire crystal isn't it cheating, then he won't hold back either. Wayne uses his jutsu named Mega Freeze, and which takes off the fireball in an instant. Simon is shocked to see this as he falls to the ground. Wayne comes towards him and puts him to sleep. Match is over, and the winner is of course Wayne, as the instructor finds out that Simon was cheating and he will be disqualified from the exams. Sophie is shocked to see Wayne and thinks what happened to him, as Wayne comes back to Kijin, and she congratulates him for taking care of that rude guy. Wayne is also relieved, then he tells her to hold her power back a little more than before. She says she will, but Wayne thinks she might go overboard, as during the match of course she does. Wayne knew this would happen and the exams comes to an end. After that we go to the principal office where he is looking at the Wayne profile. Then he wants to interview him. 3 days after the entrance exams, Wayne is called to the academy. As they didn't call Kijin, Wayne is a little disappointed. Principal asks him, "Are you Wayne?" He says yes. Then Principal introduced himself. His name is Rollo. Wayne knows him as his full name is Rollo Vistav, and also he is the strongest magician in the entire kingdom of Alstera. He has invented more than 100 of new spells and known as the father of modern magic studies. Holo apologized Wayne for making him come all the way here, as he would like to ask him few questions. Wayne thinks is what he should say to answer his questions. Then Paula tells him that his theory is that what Wayne is using is not magic. Wayne is surprised to hear this, as this is to be expected from the strongest magician. As Wayne thinks he was not planning to keep his powers hidden, this will be a good chance for him. Wayne tells him yes, it is correct he didn't use magic as he doesn't have any mana, and what he used was Onyu Jutsu. Paula is surprised to hear this as he has never heard of this before. Wayne tells him that's because he invented this by himself. Paula is impressed to hear this and tells to let's go and cast a spell which teleported them outside. Wayne is surprised as he used magic without enchanting. Paula tells him to show his magic that he used during the exams. Wayne says okay. Paula tells him whether he will fail or pass the exams will depend on what he will show him. Wayne feels like he is giving the 4th exam, which only he had to take. As he was about to use his jutsu, Paula throw a few furballs at him as Wayne is protected by a barrier. Wayne asks him why he is attacking him all of a sudden. Paula tells him to do not think of him some old man as he wants to see Wayne's full power. Wayne gets mad and asks him, "Are you the greatest magician?" Paula says he is. Wayne tells him, "Let me show you all." He has got his strongest Onyu Jutsu named Ultimate Spirit Flame, and he fires a huge blue flames fireball at Paula, and he barely was able to dodge his attack. Paula thinks he is way much stronger than other exorcists, as Wayne thinks this life will be much fun than his previous one. Paula tells Wayne he thinks he knows his power now, so Wayne asks him did he pass the exam. Paula tells him his passing was never in the question. Wayne is confused, and Paula tells him he has already passed the exam 3 days ago. He wanted to know Wayne's power in person, and he is looking forward to see what exactly he would achieve in this academy. Wayne starts smiling and thinks he is a cunning old man. After a few days in the palace, Kijin is excited as they have passed the exams, and Kijin tells Wayne that his brothers are foolish to have bet with him. Wayne hoped they follow their words. They arrive at the gate of their room. Wayne releases the summoning jutsu of Kijin as she leaves. Wayne enters the room, and his brothers were sitting there eating. His brother tells him as he know they don't want to eat with him, so he should leave. Wayne says, I have something to show you both, and show them the letter of acceptance from the academy, and tells them he did it. They are shocked to see this, as they think the letter must be a fake one, as Wayne has no mana, and there is no way he can get accepted in the academy. Wayne tells them he will prove that the letter is real deal, and thinks smiling they will know their power difference netwing them when they see him. One brother takes out a dagger and tries to cut Wayne, but he stops it with his fingers and tells the other brother to come at him with all they have got. He gets mad, uses a fireball to burn Wayne as they thinks they killed him. Wayne vanishes the fire with no scratches at all. They both are shocked to see this. He throws the dagger towards his brother. He almost got cut and falls to the ground. And Wayne tells them this will be as Wayne has passed the exam now, he will claim his inheritance, and tells them they are officially banished from the Granado family, and they have till tomorrow to pack their things. He asked his brother what are they going to do, as they were finally able to kill their father by swapping his medicine every day. His brother tells him now he will have to use his trump card. Then they go to a restaurant and gives 10 platinum coins to an assassin named Zodia to kill Wayne. At night when Wayne was sleeping, they use a dark magic barrier to shut him in his room, and also assassination magic to kill him in his rooms. Wayne says they thinks they would kill him with such weak magic. They are mistaken. Wayne starts smiling and says, let me show them how a real assassination is done. His brothers are laughing, thinking they have almost killed him, as the assassin had used solvent magic to make him go crazy from pain. They says let's go take a look at him, as they need payback from the morning when he humiliated them. As they go upstairs towards his room, comes into the room and are shocked to see that Wayne is not in his room. They can't believe that he escaped, as the assassin used double magic circle for him. He asks Zodia where is he then. Wayne comes from behind and tells them he is here, and tells them he escaped the barrier long before they could complete it. They don't understand what he is implying. Wayne tells them they shouldn't have comes into the room before confirming that their target is dead or no, and he also was hearing when they were talking about him, and tells them that father was right, you two are not suited to become lords. They tells the assassin to kill him as he charges, but Wayne takes him down, and tells his brother that he will show them hell so you two will learn your lesson. They get scared and tells him that they are sorry, and they will never bother him again. Wayne says no thank you, and summons his Shikigami named Tenkyu, who is one odd the 12 heavenly generals specialized in illusions, and if his brothers ever comes back to Granado territory, they will suffer from illusion monsters attacking them, and they will never be able to come back to the Granado territory ever again. Now Wayne has become the lord of the Granado territory, and picks the picture of his father and says he will protect the land he loves so much, so he can rest in peace. The next day at the academy, Wayne is called on the stage for speech as he has scored the highest in the exams. He comes to the podium and thanks everyone and tells them as everyone know he doesn't have any mana, and he can't use magic, but he has something else named Onyu Jutsu. Using this he tells everyone that he is better than each and every one of the magicians here. Students gets upset hearing this. Wayne tells them he will show everyone why he is above everyone during the upcoming activities, as he thanks them at the end for listening to him speak. Kijin thinks Wayne looks really cool. Paulo says now he has done it, as a student comes to him and asks him how can he allow such greeting. Paulo tells him it's fine, as all matters in this academy is ability, and Wayne has not ability to back his statement. Student tells him they will see. After that we go in class, as all the students are avoiding Wayne like he is a criminal. That doesn't matter for Wayne. Sophie comes and tells him that was a pretty provocative speech. Wayne tells her it was pretty good, right? She tells him this he sure is now the whole academy is hating you because of the speech. Wayne tells her she is right, but this is what he wants. He tells her that he will become the top student in the academy using his Onyu Jutsu. She asks him when did he develop a new form of magic. He tells her it's Onyu Jutsu, don't mix them together. And he learned it by betting his life on it. She is shocked to hear this. Kijin comes back and tells Wayne about the campus and how each one has its own cafeteria, and northern one is famous for its baked apple pie. Wayne tells her let's go there then. He shakes Sophie's hand and tells her he hoped to get along with her. She says likewise. Steve thinks is that really Wayne, as he is acting different than before. After that we see a teacher who looks definitely the villain for this chapter and has his eyes on Sophie as she has the awakened gene. He thinks if he has her awakened gene he will be unstoppable, even Rollo can't beat him, and he will rule all Sarah. A week later after the ceremony, students goes outside for mock battles in the swords class. They have to pair up with another student. A student asks Sophie to pair up with her. She says of course. Wayne pair up with Kijin. But before that Wayne wants to see the battle of Sophie. As the battle starts, Sophie quickly charges and defeats the girl. Wayne is impressed by her skills, as she is known as the Sword Princess. Kijin tells Wayne let get their mock battle started. Sophie is surprised to see Wayne and Kijin fighting and thinks they are really amazing fighters. They kept fighting and Kijin charges forward and misses Wayne and he defeats her easily. Wayne tells her, as her acting skills have improved, he tells her that she doesn't have to hold back to make look good and tells her to come at him seriously next time. Then Sophie asks Wayne to have a mock battle with her. He says of course and they aware about to start. Students are excited as the first place and second place from the exams are going for a battle who is going to win. Sophie charges forward and Wayne blocks her attack, and she thinks he is definitely different from the Wayne she knew, as Wayne is using sword style that doesn't match the sword style from Alcera, and also that technique he calls Onyu Jutsu is also a mystery. But by crossing swords she wants to know more about him. Wayne notices that Sophie mana is unstable, and if she stays like this she won't be able to improve her skills. Then Wayne decides to use his jutsu and creates a pillar under her which distracts her, and he swiftly comes behind her and was about to hit her. She quickly raises her sword and deflects his attack. Wayne loses his sword, then he admits his loss. Sophie is surprised to hear this. She tells him, can't you just pick your sword up? He tells her he used Onyu Jutsu, which is against the rules, so he lost. Then Sophie realizes that mana in her body is stabilizing and figures that Wayne trying to stabilize her. She thanks him. Wayne tells her no problem. Sophie understood after having a match with him, even though he is stronger than before, but his kind and awkward side is still the same as ever. After the class, everyone is talking about Wayne, how he talked big during his speech, but lost against Sophie. Kijin get irritated, but Wayne tells her to calm down. Sophie comes to the rescue and tells everyone that it's a misunderstanding as Wayne helped her get her mana stabilized as his swordsmanship is better than hers, so he could have won easily without using the Onyu Jutsu. Then she asks him, isn't that right? Wayne says who knows, and he wants to have a rematch, and will not lose this time. Sophie says she will be looking forward for it. All the students surround Wayne and tells him they changed their opinion about him after hearing Sophie. Wayne is surprised to see them. He comes to Sophie and tells her his classmates are not avoiding him cause of you. She is glad she could help him. Wayne tells her he has something to ask her, why not she come to his mansion after school today. She says of course she will come. After that they go to his mansion for some tea, as Kijin served them tea. Sophie didn't know that Kijin was Wayne's servant. Wayne tells her it's not rare to have servant to attend academy at Alcera. Then Wayne asks her what did she meant when she tells him about being easy to misunderstand. She tells him to put it simply, you are a little too confident. As Wayne has never thought about it, he thinks it might be related to why his family betrayed him in his previous life. He thinks being confident was normal, but now he needs to act a little humbly to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Sophie tells her she could help him to get closer with the class. Wayne asks her, will you? She tells him of course, as she would like to get know him better too. Wayne thanks her, and after the tea she leaves as they say goodbye to each other. Wayne makes her first friend in school. As Sophie was leaving thinking about their meeting, suddenly a woman comes in front of her and sprained her ankle. She asks Sophie to give her a shoulder as her house isn't too far from here. Sophie says in that case let me carry you on her back. She sits down in front of her, then she uses dark magic and puts Sophie to sleep and carry her to the house. Sophie's servant comes to Wayne mansion and asks him if she is here. He tells her that she left quite a while ago. She tells Wayne that the princess hasn't returned home yet. Wayne thinks this is not good, and she tells him if he sees her he should let them know, and goes back in the carriage. Then Wayne uses his jutsu and summons Tamo and tells him to find Sophie. He disappears to find him, but Wayne has a bad feeling about this, and we see Sophie tied up to a chair. She wakes up and sees these two, one gloomy looking guy and one really beautiful girl in front of her. She asks them who are they. Girl tells her that she forget who brought her here. Suddenly Sophie gets a shock and she starts screaming. Girl tells her that they are trying to extract her magic gene. Gloomy guy tells her he already said too much and tells her to keep her mouth shut if she wants to live. Sophie recognizes then and tells him that they are the Lunatioria. They both are shocked to hear and thinks how does she know that name. Sophie tells them that here organization name us Lunatioria, and they see nobles as their enemies. Gloomy guy says that they have grown, that now the 7 great nobles know about them. He tells her that their goal is to shake this world where birth determines your status, which is created by you nobles, and to grant everyone the same power regardless of their bloodline. Based on her magic gene, they will create a drug that will drastically improve their mana. As long as they have this drug, everyone will find happiness regardless of how much low mana they have, but they have to become part of their organization to get this drug, and they will kill everyone last noble, then a new world shall be born. Sophie tells him nobody would like that. He gets irritated and pulls the lever down, which gives shocks to Sophie. He tells her in a few moments the extraction process will be done. Then she will be free to go, but she will be a cripple though. Then Tama finally found Sophie, but he alone can't fight them as the woman is strong, so quickly goes back to Wayne to inform him about what he saw. Back at the mansion, Tamo tells Wayne about Sophie's location as she is held hostage in an abandoned castle in the west. Wayne asks him why is she in a place like that. Tamo tells Wayne there is a group named Lunatioria who has her and she is being used for some kind of experiment. Wayne asks him is Sophie okay. He says she is, but she is on the edge. Wayne tells him to take him to her immediately. He also tells Kijin to come with them. As they come to the palace and see that the palace is surrounded by around 100 guards, Tamo shows them where the lab is located and show them a shortcut. But Wayne tells them he will not take it, as he is really mad and they will pay for messing up in his domain. He summons 4 more Shikigami named Suzaku, Kaujin, Jemba, and Dain, and orders them to crush them and beat them beyond their recognition. They all gets excited and goes forward to the Manzio head-on. As Wayne is really mad, a guard comes in front of him. He plunges his head into the ground and tells him to get out of his way. All the guards gets alerted as they are under attack. Wayne tells Kochin to go forward and take care of them, as Kochin uses his strength and take on all of them. Others move forward. Wayne asks them where are the stairs leading down. As they were about to go down the stairs, more guys comes back. Wayne tells Dain Suzaku to take care of these guys. They both comes forward happily as it's finally their turn and takes care of these guys. Lady comes upstairs and then tells them are they here to save Sophie. Kijin senses that this woman is quite powerful and tells Wayne leave her. Wayne past the women. She uses her spell on him, but Kijin blocks her. She is surprised and doesn't understand what happened to her. Then woman uses the drug and injects herself and turns into a monster, but Kijin tells her she will exorcise her. Wayne reaches underground and Tamo tells him the room which Sophie is held. He tells Tamo to take care of the guards here and tells Jembu to bring the confused people outside and heal their wounds. As they both get ready as the guards attack them, Tamo easily takes most of them in one hit as Jembu starts healing all the people held hostage. A girl tells Jembu that she is a goddess, but she doesn't know what is it. Then Wayne comes to the room where Sophie is. Gloomy Guy says that he is here to rescue Sophie. Wayne tells her that she will be Aka. She did a good job holding out for this long. Gloomy Guy tells Wayne he won't be able to rescue her. Wayne get more mad and tells him don't think that he stand a chance against him, as this will be in one-sided extermination. Dain Suzaku has already taken down all the guys, and this was a piece of cake for them. And they see Kijin, her opponent, is really strong, but Kijin is stronger as her unique skill is really a special one. Women tells Kijin didn't she tell her that she will exterminate her. Kijin thinks her opponent's physical abilities are far better than hers. Women takes out her claws and charges onto Kijin. Her blows are getting heavier for Kijin, but she blocks it eventually. But as Kijin was standing, Woman charges and hit her with her claws, and Kijin got hit and was on the edge. Women tells Dain Suzaku why are they playing around instead of helping her. Suzaku tells her because they have finished their job. Women thinks of them as idiots and tells them she will kill Kijin and will come for them. They both starts laughing and tells her that she will never beat Kijin. Her power is in different level than hers. Women tells them let me show you what can do and charges towards Kijin. Then Kijin uses her unique skill and cuts through her attacks instantly, and women can't believe she lost even after using the injection. Dain Suzaku both are surprised to see Kijin powers in action. Kijin tells Dain her powers are amazing too. She tells her to trade powers with her. She tells her they can't as she will be more weaker without her powers. Kijin's unique skill name is Moment's Return, which allows her to send her opponent 0.1 seconds back in time. These unique skills are the reason they are called the 12 Heavy Generals, the strongest Shikigami. However, Kijin never thought she would had to use her unique skill to defeat her. Dain thinks it must be because of the injections she took which make her really strong. On the other hand, Wayne cuts her ropes and picks up Sophie in her arms as she tells him to be careful and got passed out. Wayne calls Tamo and hands Sophie to her to care of her and moves towards the culprit. The Gloomy Guy has added Sophie's mana gene in their grug and can produce the artificial awakened ones. He tells Wayne now finally they can create a world where whether you are strong or weak everyone will be equal. Wayne tells him it's useless Dad doesn't care about his ideals. He takes the injection and really becomes a monster which he called Awakened One. Wayne tells him monstrous is a good way to put him as he really have become a monster. He tells Wayne that he is looking the king of the new world. Wayne tells him he doesn't care as in his previous life. He has defeated a lot of evil monsters, and he will be no different from them. It's time for Wayne to perform an exorcism. He starts laughing as Wayne still thinks he can beat him. Monster quickly comes behind Wayne to attack him, but Wayne uses his spirit blade to block his attack. But he has hardened his skin so Wayne won't cut through it. Wayne tells him let's do it serious, then Wayne uses Flash Step, which hurts the monster. Monster says it doesn't matter as Wayne can't stop me. He uses cursed chains on Wayne and chains restrained Wayne from moving. Wayne needs to do something quickly, as he doesn't any mana he will get killed. He uses his spiritual power and hits the spell in its weak point and breaks the chains easily. Monster is surprised to see this. Wayne quickly cuts him as his sword hurt him before, and he starts to bleed. Monster doesn't understand what's going on. He tells Wayne he is impressed by him as no one has ever compete with him in the Awakened One form, and asks Wayne to join his organization. Wayne tells him no as he would never work under someone, and also he wouldn't like to be his boss either. After all, his anger won't subside until he takes him down. He says then he will have to kill him right now and show him the true power of Awakened One. He blasts the whole building and the whole building goes down to ashes. Wayne thinks it's some serious power, but it's useless if he can't hit him. Wayne uses his spirit shockwaves and plunges him down, but then he sees the people, comes up, uses his full power, and create a huge purple ball of power, and thinks as Wayne won't be able to fight in protecting his friends. Wayne says he really is a monster as he doesn't care killing his own people. Wayne contacts Kijin using his telepathy and tells her to protect the people as he is going to get serious now. Wayne uses his strongest technique named Ultimate Spirit Flame and also infuse his black flame with it, creating a more powerful spell, and they both fire their spells to each other, which creates a huge explosion, but Wayne's attack cuts through his spell and burn him to falls on the ground. Wayne comes down and says he will exorcise him now. As he uses his purification spell, he sees his memory, how his parents were killed by a burglar when he was young. So he decided to learn magic to protect himself. Luckily sponsored by someone, he becomes a scholar and also met the love of his life. But this happiness goes away in an instant. His love was stolen by a noble being a low status. He couldn't do anything to protect her. His talent helped him when he wrote revolutionary thesis on magic, which was also stolen by the noble. All his achievements, which changed him. He says he will create a world where equality is justified. After seeing everything about his past life, he tells him that his memory shows that he is not a bad person and asks him if he wants to join him. Gloomy Guy is surprised to hear this. Wayne tells him he will make his dream come true. As he has amazing knowledge of magic, why not use that knowledge for his sake? Gloomy Guy starts crying as they both shake hands, and he tells him he swears his everything to him. Wayne tells him he will be looking forward to work with him. Kijin gets happy seeing them. No, everyone was rescued. They destroyed the castle. All their members were arrested and was sent to the Alstera prison. They also burned all the amplifying drug that they made and also heal Sophie by Gembu, who is an exceptional healer. Sophie will be alright soon. All the rescued people were sent back to their respective homes. Everyone thanks Wayne for helping them. Wayne feels shy and thinks this was a new experience for him as he used to only save people in secret. The news was published on the national newspaper, and Kijin tells Wayne that his reputation finally seems to be rising now. Wayne is happy to hear this. Kijin asks him about the letter. He tells her it's a letter sent by Sophie's father. He is inviting him to his mansion. Kijin gets happy hearing this as says if it wasn't for Wayne, Sophie would have died. Wayne tells her he didn't do much, he just helped out a single friend. Kijin tells him he is really a great man. Wayne thinks things turns out to be great, having one of the 7 nobles indebted to him, and it can also help his weak territory as well. The next day he goes to their mansion and was escorted to his room but their maid. Wayne thanks him for the invitation. He is very grateful. Sophie's father tells him he is the who should be grateful as he saved his daughter. They sits down and maid gives Wayne tea. Sophie's father says let's get to the point and asks Wayne to marry his daughter Sophie. Wayne gets shocked hearing this and spits his tea on him. He wipes it off. Wayne is so embarrassed and apologizes to him, as it was just such a huge shock for him. He tells him no problem as you saved my daughter from the kidnappers. Otherwise it wouldn't have ended well. His daughter would have died and the kingdom would have had to suffer. Then he asks Wayne again with a smiling face, do you want to marry my daughter? Wayne asks him does Sophie know about this? He tells him of course not. Wayne tells him it would be great not make such a decision without asking her opinion first. Therefore he politely declined his offer. After all, Sophie is very important to Wayne. Sophie's father says important and friend Han now. He said he is more reluctant to marry her off with Wayne. Wayne didn't like that. Sophie's father tells him she would be a great wife. She is very pretty and young. She is very brave and also has an admirable side to her as well. She is very kind, respect all kinds of people regardless of their status. He asks Wayne has he changed his mind. Wayne tells him his answer is still no. He says let's put this topic on hold for the next time. Wayne thinks there will be a next time too. Sophie's father tells him if he can't join their families, is there anything else he can do to pay for his kindness? Sophie's father say that he will hand over a part of their territory over to the Granado family. Wayne definitely likes that idea. Wayne thinks this would be a great help, and he will take full advantage of this. Wayne tells him then there's a specific part of a territory he would like. He says, I'm all ears, tell me. Wayne says that he would like to have the land of Culbut village, which is close to Granado's territory. Sophie's father tells him, but that area is barely developed, so Wayne is after the mineral deposits of that land. Wayne says no. While it's true that it's a region rich in minerals, but what draw actually his attention was the land itself. That land has everything in resources that his land lacks. Sophie's father tells him that the land is very hard to develop, you know that, don't you? Wayne says of course. He says okay, he will transfer the Culbut village and also his surrounding to the Granado family. Wayne thanks him. Sophie's father says he should be the one thanking him for saving his daughter. Wayne asks him, can he Sophie right now? Her father says he don't mind. He tells his maid to show him the way to Sophie's room. Sophie's father says he is just like his father, he might be someone who is going to lead our nation someday. Sophie is lying on her bed, can't stop to think about the time Wayne when he saved her. Has Wayne made his way through such dangers to save her after all? Sophie thinks he thought of her as a friend or he thinks of her as something more. She just can't stop thinking about him and jumping to conclusions. She gets out of her bed to do some exercise and focus on swinging her sword, then she might be able to forget about it. She opens her room door. Wayne is outside her room. She is shocked to see him. He says hi and tells her sorry for coming unannounced to see her. She gets happy thinking Wayne came to see her. Wayne says she wasn't looking good when he saved her, so he was worried about her. She starts blushing hearing this, suddenly remembers she is in her nightie and quickly closed her door on Wayne. She says sorry, but she is not feeling well. Wayne tells her it's okay, take your time, and hopes she recovers quickly. Sophie in her room thinking she messed up. How could she treat him like that after all? He saved her life. Wayne thinks she avoided her as he thinks it was right choice to refuse the marriage proposal. It would have hurt Sophie if he had accepted the offer. Now Wayne thinks about the land he got from Lord Norbert and will put into great use. He goes back to the capital in his villa where Kijin welcomes him. Wayne tells her he would like to return to the Granado territory immediately. They into a room. Wayne uses his teleport jutsu and returns back to their territory instantly. Wayne maid asks him when did he return from the capital. He tells her he just arrived a short while ago. He asks her if Rikugo is in the office. She tells him he is. Wayne goes in the office. Rikugo is in there and asks Wayne what he can do for him. Wayne tells him that he have obtained a new territory, so he thought he should come back to tell him. Rikugo thinks it's great. Now Wayne's spiritual power is back to how it was before, and now he can use all the 12 heavenly generals at once to do some rapid developments in their territory. Rikugo thinks it's a great idea. Now Wayne summons all 12 of the heavenly generals and give them instructions. Now Wayne has enough spiritual power to maintain all of them and tells them they will expect to be summoned all the time now. One of them attacks Wayne from behind. Another general comes and stops his attack and tells him to not disrespect Wayne-sama. His name is Toda, and he is a problem child among the 12 generals. Wayne tells him he would fight him next time, and for now just go along with the work he gives him. If he doesn't listen to him, Wayne can always cancel his summon. They gets happy as it feels like old times to them. Wayne gave them orders and tells them they are going to make some big improvements in the territory. Everyone gets excited and says they will follow Wayne orders. Wayne tells them the reason why Granado territory is called the weak and small territory in all of Alstera, because their population, military, and economics are all below the norm. Wayne wants to improve in these areas first. Kijin will be supporting Wayne at the academy. Rikugo will manage the territory. Tama will be in charge of housework and management of the villa. Tenku will gather information on these subjects Wayne listed. Kauchin will become an instructor and improve their soldier skills. Siryu and Tenku will establish and manage a new merchant company. Jembu will open a temporary hospital and treat the injured people at the church. Which left these four, Suzaku, Dane, Tuda. Bayako will be in charge of developing the new territory. Dane asks Wayne what should they do to develop the new territory. They have no idea how to do it. Wayne tells her they just need to get along with the locals. It's simple as that. The people Culbut village doesn't like the fact that Wayne is their lord, so these four should get along with these locals to gain their trust. This is Wayne's idea. Dane loves the idea and gets excited. Siryu says if the plan goes well her company will come in handy. Wayne says that's right. This is the reason he asked her to start one. Toda tells Wayne then he can wild then naturally Wayne will have to fight with him. Wayne tells him that's why Bayako and Suzaku with him to prevent this from happening. Dane asks Wayne why did he team her together with them. Wayne pats head and tells her she is cute and innocent, and people easily take a liking to her. She gets happy and tells Wayne he knows her very well. All the Shikigami starts laughing, which means that she is like a child. Wayne says to everyone he will be counting on them, as they all bow to him and tell him as he wish. The next day at the school everyone seems to know about Wayne as he is the one who saved Sophie. But Wayne finds it uncomfortable students staring at him. Kijin says should she go and knock everyone out. Wayne tells her as there is no need to do that. He comes in the classroom and sees Sophie and asks her if she is feeling alright. She tells him she is feeling better now. Sophie apologized to Wayne for closing her door on him when he came to check up on her. Wayne tells her it's okay as she was not feeling well. Sophie thinks he is a really kind person, as they are friends so it's natural, and she starts blushing. Then teachers comes in the class and ask everyone to settle down. His name is Korin, and he will be magic teacher for their class. Before starting the class, he says those students who can't use magic, and they use whatever jutsu, should not get in his way of educating other talented students. Wayne says he is practically calling them out. Kijin gets mad. Sophie tells the teacher that it is rude to ask a student question like this. He tell her he just speak the truth as this academy is made for those who have a lot of mana. If they don't have it, they don't belong here. Teacher tells them he will begin the lesson as they are just wasting time now. Wayne thinks this is going to be a troublesome class. Teacher tells the students that magic spells are ranked in order from 1st to 7th rank. Right now, students can only use low-ranking magic from 4th to 7th. But from now on, he will teach the students high-ranking magic from 3rd to 1st ranks. The only capable person who is capable of using most of the 1st rank spells is their principal Rolla Vista. Teachers tell them learning 1st rank spells might be difficult, but he would like everyone to be able to use at least 3rd rank spells, which are considered high rank. Although there are some students who can't even use low-ranking magic, which is none other than Wayne and Kijin. He tells the students to put their hand on these crystal balls to get their mana evaluation, which spells best suit their mana. A student comes in who has an attribute of water, which is suited for assistant spells due to its lacking amount of mana. Another student comes in, same thing goes for her, but she has the light attribute. Teacher tells them this year quality of students is not great. Sophie comes forward. Teacher says that's why a chump with no mana was able to take the first place. Sophie gets mad and tells Korin Sensei that Wayne is way more powerful than both him and her. He gets irritated hearing this. Then Sophie touches the crystals and they started glowing brightly. Everyone is surprised to see this as she is the best one so far. Wayne says as he expected from Sophie. Teacher is shocked to see Sophie mana and tells her she has incredible talent in magic. Sophie says thanks and tells him she was able to output this much mana is thanks to Wayne, because he identified what was wrong with it and fixed it instantly. Teacher didn't like that at all, and says how can he fix it, he doesn't have any mana at all, and calls the next student, which is Kijin. She comes forward. She telepathically asks Wayne how much mana should she pour into the crystal. Wayne asks her does she have mana. She tells him yes, a fair amount of it. He tells her to pour as much she can without surpassing Sophie. Teacher tells her what's wrong, you can't do it. Then Kijin pour her mana into the crystal, and it starts glowing as the same color as Sophie. Everyone thinks she is on the same level as Sophie, maybe even better. Sophie is happy to see it as this is to be expected from Kijin. Teacher is surprised to see this and calls the next student, which is Wayne. Teacher thinks it's final, his turn. The whole reason he is doing this to expose Wayne right here, just how useless he is. On the other hand, Wayne is thinking what he should do as he doesn't have any mana, and he is also curious about what would happen if he poured spiritual power into this magic crystal. He pours spiritual power and nothing happens to the crystal. Then suddenly, the students notices that the color of the crystal is changing to black. Teacher is surprised to see this. Seeing an effect, Wayne pours more spiritual power in the crystal, and it turns pure black and get broken into pieces. Wayne, teacher, and all the students are surprised to see this. Teacher asks Wayne what is he doing. Wayne apologizes and thinks magic crystals are quite fragile. The teacher gets more irritated. The crystals have been used in the academy for decades. No one ever has been able to break it using their mana. Teacher tells them to quiet down as he is going to get another crystal. All the students surround him and tells Wayne that Onyu Jutsu is quite amazing. They are happy seeing their rude teacher get surprised. Seeing this, Sophie gets happy as he has started to blend in with them. This student is next and thinks Wayne has put Korin Sensei in mad mood, which will be troublesome for her. Korin brings the new crystal, and asks Henry to test her mana. She puts his hand on the crystal, and it doesn't glow. Teacher asks her, is this all she can do? In his all years of teaching here, this is the first time he has seen such hopeless light. He tells her not to bring down other students and goes back to her seat. Wayne, seeing all this, thinks then she must have other talents which helped her pass the entrance exams, which means she is really great in other areas except magic. Teacher tells the students their next lesson will be practical training and tells them to split up into groups of 2, and they will have to find the goal in the middle of the forest next week, and they can start looking for their partners now. Everyone huddles around Sophie to ask her be their partner. She thinks now she can't ask Wayne to be her partner with everyone surrounding her. Kijin asks Wayne what are they going to about pairing up. Wayne tells her someone has caught his eye and tells Kijin it's Henry. She quietly leaves the classroom and Wayne thinks now will be a good chance for him to talk to her. She goes to the cafeteria and was thinking about how nobody wants to pair up with her. Wayne comes from behind and asks her if he can sit with her. She tells him she doesn't mind and sits next to her. She asks him what does he want. Wayne tells her he just need to talk with her as they both are under the same circumstances. She tells him they are nothing alike as he have Onyu Jutsu. He tells her this is he wanted to talk about with her. She doesn't have much mana, yet were able to pass the entrance exam, which she was admitted here because she of her talent. She tells Wayne she knows a lot about magic which helped her get in the academy. Wayne asks her, as she know a lot, is there anything in which you are especially good at? She tells him she liked making magic tools, she is crazy about them. She applied to this academy to polish her skills into making the magic tools, but it's a lot tougher than she thought. She tells Wayne if she was a little stronger she wouldn't have such a hard time. In that case, Wayne asks her if she is free after school to come to his mansion, and they can have a special training for the next week. Wayne tells her if she doesn't have much mana, then she should just invent her own personal magic. She asks is that even possible. Wayne tells her of course as she have a lot of knowledge about magic. She thanks Wayne and tells him she will try her best. After school she comes to the mansion and shows Wayne what she can do. Wayne asks her that she can use magic without chanting. She tells him yes, since she did it all the while making magic tools. Wayne thinks chant emission is really difficult as it requires a certain amount of magic and mana concentration. Even in Alsura, there are not many magicians who can use magic without chanting. Wayne asks her to fire a spell in the way he asked her to. She asks him what way would that be. He tells her to fire the spell using less mana into it than usual. She asks him wouldn't it will make the spell weaker. Wayne tells her they are testing, let's give it a try. C tries putting less mana into the spell and creates a huge ball of water which destroyed the target. Henry is shocked to see this and asks Wayne what just happened. He tells him using less mana made you use the spell effectively. Henry asks Wayne to tell her in more detail. Wayne tells her everyone in this world only thinks about casting the same spell in the same way, while they sometimes shorten or omit their chants, but they always use the same process. That goes for Henry as well, but once she switched the method she was able to fire powerful spells despite having small mana pool. Henry is surprised to hear about this, as Henry has developed excellent mana control from making magic tools, so that's why Wayne thought she would be able to do it. Henry tells Wayne this is really amazing as she would have never guessed it on her own. Also, this idea will shake the whole world's concept of magic. Wayne tells her it's maybe because he doesn't have mana and he is an exorcist. Wayne asks her now she think people will treat her more kindly. Sophie gets really happy and now will be able to manage in the academy thanks to Wayne. And also it's her first time someone praised her at the academy. She is overjoyed. Wayne asks her would she like to pair up with him. She won't mind, but she will slow him down. Wayne tells her not to worry, let's ace the exams, and leaves Sensei Korin speechless. Henry starts laughing and says Wayne is real amazing and tells him she would love to pair up with him if he doesn't mind. Wayne says of course and they shake hands on it. After 1 week later, training week arrives and everyone is gathered outside with their partners. Teacher tells them their exam will start from here and they have to collect these crystals from the forest and bring them back with them, and those who are not back until sunset will fail the exam. They can expect both monsters and traps on the way there, so students should advance with utmost caution. Then teacher sees an interesting pair which is Henry's and Wayne. He tells them they will go first and should climb the mountains without getting in their way. Wayne says they will try their best and moves forward. Wayne tells Henry to go at her own pace as he will match it. As soon the teacher says start, Henry channels her mana and uses acceleration magic and goes forward quickly with blue flames covering her. Everyone is shocked to see this, especially Sensei Korin. Kijin thinks this is to be expected from Wayne. Sophie is also surprised to see this as Henry couldn't even use magic last time and thinks Wayne really is amazing at helping other people grow. Sensei Korin get irritated and doesn't understand what did they do. Teacher tells the students to not go into the barrier that's on the path of the mountain. There is a monster there that you can't defeat as they are now, and they might even lose your life. Sophie couldn't believe what she just heard, gets mad at the teacher, and asks him why he didn't say that earlier when Wayne and Henry was still here. Teacher tells her that he forgot. Sophie tells him you can't forget something important like that. He tells her that is true and will let them know next time in advance. Well, if there even is a next time. He says not to worry since they are two failures, and he is sure they will drop out before reaching the barrier. Sophie couldn't believe that such a rotten person can be teacher in Alcera. She hopes Wayne and Henry will be safe. Kijin didn't say anything at all. The scene shifts to both of them running in the forest. Wayne tells Henry he is doing great. Henry gets happy as it was worth inscribing magic into their shoes. Henry inscribed magic circles into their school shoes and turned them into magic tools, and also by using physical enhancement on themselves, they can reach their high speeds easily, and also made sure to get permission to alter their shoes from the principal so they couldn't accuse them for cheating. Wayne tells Henry to be careful as the real test has just begun. Suddenly, Henry tells Wayne to stop. Wayne asks him what happened. He picks up a rock and throws it on the ground, and there was a magic trap there for them. They are happy as they didn't fall into this pitfall. Wayne thanks Henry for saving him. Wayne gets to thinking as these are the traps mentioned by their teacher. It was hard for Wayne to notice them. Henry is happy that he could help Wayne. Henry tells Wayne that he hasn't told him you would have probably found a way to deal with it. Wayne tells him that's not true. They say as all the traps are hidden so they should move a little slower and moves forward, and thus they overcame the traps and also fought the monsters. After all that were able to come to the top of the mountain and seize the magic barrier, according to Wayne as Kijin told him there is barrier with powerful monster inside it. They pretended to forgot and warned the other students about it after they left. Henry says they should take a detour. Wayne tells him no as this is the shortest route. Henry is stunned and tells him that it might prove troublesome even for him, as this is supposed to be one of another of those traps that they need to avoid. Wayne tells him it will be fine, so trust him. Wayne goes inside the magic barrier. Henry comes running behind him. They both come inside the barrier. Henry tells Wayne that the entrance is gone. They can't go back. Wayne tells him the entrance and exit are different here. Tree opened his eyes. Henry couldn't believe what he is seeing. The tree turned into a really big aggressive monster. Wayne says this seems to be a treant, which is weaker than the chimera he fought before the entrance exam. Henry is really scared thinking that they have to defeat this monster to reach the exit. Wayne tells Henry he has already helped a lot, so leave it to him as he takes out his sword. The tree attacks Wayne. He uses shadow fire to burn his roots and jumps into the air, says there is no way a mere tree can stand a chance in front of him, and slashes the tree into two. After that he goes to Henry and tells him let's get out of here. Henry Coulson believe what he just saw, and finally they comes across the crystal. They both gets happy as they are the first who came. Wayne picks the crystal, and they both couldn't stop smiling. Wayne and Henry comes out of the forest. Teacher is surprised to see that it's these two. They tell Korin Sensei they have brought back the crystal, which means they have passed the practical training. Teachers tells them they must have cheated, as they may have been the first one to start, but still it's too fast. Korin gets irritated as they manage to avoid the barrier after he kept it hidden from them. Wayne tells him they did take the shortest route and defeated the treant. Teacher couldn't believe what he just heard. Teacher says there is no way that they can defeat the treant. Henry says it will be impossible for him, but not for Wayne, as he took down the treant in a single blow. Teacher finds this ridiculous as a failure like him can't do that. Wayne tells him when they come back with the crystal so quickly enough proof for him. Teacher says he is sure that they have cheated somehow. Wayne doesn't like that at all as he is always get accused of cheating by magicians. Wayne tells Korin if he doubt them so much why not confirm it by himself. Korin didn't like that at all, and Wayne tells him he can come at him at any time he wants. If he wins then Korin will have to correct his arrogant attitude as a teacher. Henry tells Wayne he can't do that. Korin gets mad and tells Wayne he will correct that rebellious attitude of his. He will show Wayne what real magic looks like and casts a spell and fires it towards them. Henry doesn't get how is Wayne going to dodge the attack. Henry tells Korin this is going too far. Korin tells him it's Wayne's fault of opposing him, and he held back just enough to not kill him, as he can brush off his injuries sustained during the practical training. Wayne says no need to worry as he is not injured after all, and uses his spell named Bind of Severance, and now Korin can't move at all. Wayne tells him he just used Onyu Jutsu that he looked down upon. Korin didn't like that. Wayne tells him to relax as he will also hold back as well. Paulo comes here and tells Wayne to stop as this is enough. Wayne backs off. Paulo says he has been watching this year practical training from the start. Quarren gets scared and asks Headmaster what is he doing here. Paulo says some of the students from sword class has reported your bad behavior, so he decided to watch the practical training and tells Curran that he is fired. He tells Paulo that it's a misunderstanding. Paulo tells him what would that be, didn't you just omit information trying to get these two students in trouble, and tells him to drop the excuses. He will question him about everything once the training is over. Quarren tells Wayne it's all his fault. Wayne tells him he just reaped what you sowed. Quarren tells him to shut up as he is already fired, and he will be taking Wayne with him, and fires a spell at him. Seems that he still doesn't understand the difference between their powers, and uses a flaming spell which cancels out Quarren magic. He is shocked to see this. Wayne tells him, does you understand now? This is what Onijutsu is. After that, scene shifts to Kijin and Sophie coming back after getting the crystal. Sophie thanks Kijin for teaming up with her. Kijin says she should be thanking her too, as she had fun thanks to Sophie. She gets happy hearing this. Kijin asks Sophie why did she choose her to pair up, as everyone in the class looks up to her so much. Sophie starts laughing and tells Kijin she wanted to get to know her better, and also she thinks after getting close to her, she could consult her about Wayne as well. Kijin gets happy as she thanks her. Sophie say they didn't see the barrier Quarren-sensei talked about. Terrifying. Kijin smiling says who knows. They comes out of the forest and Wayne greets both of them. Sophie says you guys really did make it back before them, and asks Wayne where's Quarren-sensei. Wayne tells her he is over there. She goes to him to report him that they have returned. She calls him but he is not in his senses. Sophie asks what happened to Quarren-sensei. Wayne tells her Headmaster showed up and fired him. Sophie gets shocked hearing this, and by the end of the day Quarren had left Alsura Magic Academy. Wayne is in his carriage with Kijin. She tells him practical training turned out to be a great opportunity as he became friends with Henry, and also got rid of that eyesore of a teacher. Wayne tells her that he is happy as the students in the class seems to recognize Henry now, and also she and Sophie have gotten closer to one another, and also they are planning to have dinner together. Tamo tells Wayne that they are about to arrive at Culbut Village, the new addition to their territory. Wayne hopes that those guys have gotten along with the villagers. Wayne arrives at the village. The chief of the village named Yan come to welcome him. Wayne says thanks you very much, and asks him if his servants are doing a good job. He tells him yes, of course they are. Wayne judges from Chief's reaction they are doing better than he expected. Chief tells him that he will show him the way to his servants, and they starts walking. Wayne is surprised to see that they have such a luxurious mansion here. Chief tells Wayne because Toda and others are their great benefactors, and letting them have this in return is only natural. Wayne now gets more curious, and they go up the stairs and sees Toda sitting on the sofa like a royal. Wayne asks him why is he looking so mighty today. He says because of his popularity, of course. Shazuka tells Wayne it's because since they arrive here he has been constantly hunting the monsters around the village. Since the people here have been suffering from monster attacks for a long time, they see Toda as their savior, as they have gotten along with the people as Wayne requested, but it has completely gotten into Toda's head, and he listens to them even less than before. Dane gets mad and asks Wayne to do something about him. Wayne says he will do something. Wayne envisions something a little different than this, but this is pretty good result, and if they worship you, which means they will gladly obey our orders when we give them. And if they want Toda to listen to them, there is a quick and easy way to have him do so. Wayne tells Toda why not they fight. Toda jumps and attack Wayne saying he will do that. As Wayne blocks his attack says then it's decided. They both go outside for their fight. Everyone is standing on the side watching. Wayne tells Toda it's been a while since they fought. Toda has been waiting for this moment. The day he will kill Wayne and comes behind him and kicks Wayne. He goes flying in the air blocking the attack, but Toda comes around him started punching him, but couldn't get a clean hit. That is which exactly make Wayne worth killing for Toda. He backs from Wayne and uses his kick of flames, thinks Wayne can easily defend against this technique, but also uses his Eye of the Snake King, which stops Wayne from moving, and Wayne was about to take a direct hit from the attack. Toda thinks it's his win now, then Wayne comes behind him and tells Toda he might have lost to that if he was just reincarnated, and punches him to the ground. Toda falls into the river. Wayne uses his spiritual light arrow and hits Toda with a direct hit. Dane starts cheering saying she knew Wayne would win. Bayako says Wayne is regaining more of his former strength by the day, and same goes for them too. Wayne comes down and tells Toda it's clear to say that he won. Toda gets mad and says he lost this time, but next time he will definitely kill him in their fight, and walks of Wayne thinks this is how he is. At least this should make him listen to him for a while. Dane hugs Wayne saying good job. They all came down and tells Wayne as expected from him to unearth a holy spring in the middle of their fight with Toda. Suzoku asks Wayne that's why he chose to fight here. Wayne says yes. Dane finds this really awesome and gets excited. Teimo and Kijin wanted to dig up a hot spring in this village. Suzuka says so that's why you were investigating the surrounding soil with Onyu Jutsu. If they could find a hot spring, then they could create several tourist destinations here, and people from all over the country will visit Kolba. And after that they started the development of the Kolba village with hot spring resorts, and they can expand it little by little corresponding to the amount of people that arrive. All the villagers are working hard because of trust Toda's group has built. Kijin tells Wayne that the baths will be finished today, but Wayne is in deep thought thinking about something. Wayne tells her it's nice that they are coming along nicely, and tells Kijin he has some tribal business. He will be back by tonight and leaves. And scene shifts to the Kolbut mine where a strange man in a cloak is making a dark magic circle, but Wayne comes to save the Kolbut village and asks the man what is he doing here, but he doesn't say anything, uses a flame explosion spell and fires towards Wayne. He easily evades the fire and comes behind him and knocks out the guy in no time. Wayne thinks he doesn't know the guy and what exactly he was trying to set free here. Wayne says he will ask Tenku to investigate this mine later and hand over this guy to the knights at the capital. Wayne comes back, everyone welcomes him back. They waited for him to come back after finishing the bath since they wanted him to be the first one to go in it. Wayne tells them they didn't need to do that. She tells him of course they will not use it until he does it first. Heejin tells Dane this is rude. Wayne tells them why not you all should come in with him. They all get happy and says of course. The guys goes into the men's bath and the girls go to their bath. But Dane slips on the floor. Kijin tells her she is reckless as ever. Kijin goes into the bath gracefully, and Dane jumps into the splashing all water on Kijin as the girls enjoying their bath. On the other hand, Tuda is on the roof lying. Bayako tells him to come and take a bath with them. He tells them to leave him alone. They say he is still brooding over losing to Wayne. Kijin contacts Wayne through telepathy and asks Wayne is the temperature up to his liking. He tells her yes, and also he has changed quite a lot. Wayne asks he in what way. She tells him he has become more gentler person than he used to be in his previous life. Wayne tells her that's not true as he was always a gentle person. She starts lauding and says I guess. She says you may not be aware of it yourself, but she thinks that through his interaction with Henry and Sophie, as they are now she is sure they will never betray him. Rather they will walk alongside him, that what amazing friends she think they are. The next day Kijin comes in the office with the bad news. Wayne asks her what happened. She tells him that the magician he caught yesterday has passed away. Wayne says that's unfortunate, let's go check his body. He goes inside the cell to check his body and sends a pretty dense mana, which means he was killed by a spell. He sees the magic crest on his chest as the crest has a design which amplifies a magic contract. It's looked like it was to activate after a set period of time specified by the contract. But it's fully activated, which means they shut him up as he was just a pawn in their organization. It bothers Wayne as he was never able to find out who he was. He tells Kijin, let's investigate Kolbut mine next. Bayako asks Wayne, can you come with them? Wayne says of course. They goes inside the mine and Wayne takes them to where the magician tried dispelling the seal, which means there must be something sealed inside the mine, but the question is what they were planning on doing with it. Wayne says let's break the seal. Bayako say wouldn't that be dangerous? Wayne says they can't do just thinking about it, as where his powers are now he can deal with pretty much anything. They started trying to dispelling the seal. Wayne thinks no magic is perfect. It's bound to have a flaw somewhere, so he can probably neutralize it by bombarding it with his spiritual power. He casts his spell and breaks the seal, and wonders what kind of monster he will see. Lava shickles around and salamander comes out of there. Bayako tells Wayne let him handle this and charges forward. Wayne tells him he wants to investigate it, so make sure not to kill it. Salamander blows fire at him. Wayne thinks it's intense heat, but it's useless against Bayako. Bayako uses his spell and easily takes down the salamander. Wayne gets happy seeing how fast Bayako is, which is to be expected from the 12 heavenly generals. Bayako asks Wayne is this enough? Wayne tells him it's perfect. Wayne comes forward to check out the salamander. Suddenly smoke surrounds the salamander and Wayne can't see anything, and salamander shrinks into a baby. Kijin and others finds him really cute. As Wayne tries to touch it, he starts talking and asks Wayne to spare his life. Wayne is surprised to see a talking salamander and doesn't understand the meaning of this. Salamander tells Wayne that he is not a monster but he is a spirit. Wayne picks him up and asks him why did he attack them when they released him. He says he was simply confused by the whole ordeal. Wayne says he believes him. Spirit thanks him. Kijin asks Wayne is this really okay? Wayne says he don't mind. Somewhat he is responsible since he is the one who set it free. Wayne tells the spirit he would like to ask him a lot of questions. Spirit says of course he will answer, summarizing all the questions Wayne asked the spirit, as he is a fire spirit named Salamander and doesn't remember who sealed him and nor does know the reason why, as he is one of the 4 spirits each represents the elements of water, fire, earth, and wind. Wayne gets irritated as the spirit doesn't remember all the important bits. Kijin tells the spirit, "Aren't you lying?" Wayne thinks that's not the case. Wayne says, could it be that the other spirits were also sealed somewhere just like him? Spirit says he has no idea about it. Bayako says what a useless lizard, but he does where the other spirits are. Wei asks him how come does he know that, since they all represent their own elements, so they rotly grasp about each other's existence. Wayne says to Kijin, then if they go and meet these spirits they might be able to understand why they were sealed and what the magicians are planning. Kijin loved the idea, and also they have a guide too who will help them. Wayne says to the spirit if he helps them he will take responsibility and will look after him. Wayne tells him that he has been sealed for so long, so he wanted to get along with him. Wayne says you are free to refuse if he doesn't like the idea. Salamander gets excited and says he will be at his care then. Spirit tells Wayne that 5 meals a day and a quiet place to sleep is a must for him as he thanks him. After that Wayne goes to the academy and tells everything that happens to the principal Polo, which is why Wayne will be taking leave from school for a while. Paulo gets excited, says it's an interesting story, so interesting that if he wasn't the principal he would join him. Wayne says you don't have to follow him. Paulo says he was just kidding. Paulo asks Wayne as he has been getting in a lot of trouble lately. Wayne says he was probably born under a star. Paulo starts laughing and says that expression fits him perfectly and would like to hear about his adventure when he comes back. Wayne says he will tell him and excuse himself from there. As he comes out of the principal's office, Sophie greets him and asks him did he has business with the headmaster. Wayne tells her yes, as he has taken a leave from school. Sophie asks him what happened, is he sick? Wayne says no, he just had some business and he need to go on a trip to take care of it. Sophie asks him how long will he be gone for. Wayne says it's not exactly clear. Then Sophie asks Wayne can she comes along with him. Wayne is surprised hearing this, and Sophie tells him she wanted to repay him as he has done a lot for her. Wayne tells her I know, but he doesn't know how long will he be gone for. If takes a long time then she might have to neglect her studies for quite some time. Sophie says she don't mind as she thinks she would learn more from just being around him than in a classroom. Then he will be counting on her, and they shake hands on it. They both comes into Paulo's office and Wayne tells him that Sophie would also like to join him on his trip. Paulo starts smiling and tells Wayne that quite a catch. Wayne tells him it's not like that. They comes out of his room and Sophie starts blushing. She asks Wayne he hasn't told her yet where are they going. He tells her first they are going to the port town of Nelhaida. Wayne thinks that's where the great water spirit would be and wonders how it will go. Kijin is waiting for Wayne outside the academy. She sees Sophie. Wayne tells her that he ended up bringing Sophie along as well. Kijin says as Wayne wishes and Sophie tell her she will be in her care. Kijin says likewise. Then the salamander comes out and says he will be in charge of guiding them. Sophie is shocked to see a talking monster. Wayne starts laughing and tells Sophie he hasn't told her yet. Then the scene shifts to Wayne's office where he shows Dayan and Shazuka the salamander. Wayne tells them the reason he gathered them here so to get them in contact with other spirits apart from the fire one. Shazuka says isn't this little the only one who can find them? Wayne tells him there's a way they can find them. Salamander fires a few fireballs and Wayne tells them these furballs that contain some of his power, so they should be able to guide them where the other spirits are. Dayan finds these furballs really fascinating. Wayne tells them they will split up and head towards a different spirit each. Kijin and him will head to the port town Nelhaida to meet the water spirit. Suzaku and Dayan will use the fire spirit to find the earth spirit in Suzona Mountains. Likewise Tounda and Bako will head to Kuwal to find the wind spirit. Tuda gets irritated. Wayne tells him he will be counting on him. Bayako asks Wayne what will they do if the spirits are also sealed like salamander. Wayne says then he would like them to undo the seal, protect the spirit, and bring it back here safely. After assigning everyone their work they all head out. The scene shifts back to the carriage where Sophie finally gets that this little guy is not a monster but is a spirit. Sophie says it's so well behaved and still got sealed, and she is curious why he got sealed. Wayne says it seemed well behaved, but it must have done something bad to deserve such treatment. Salamander, that is not true at all. Wayne tells the spirit did lose his memory and then attacked him right away after getting released. Sophie tells Wayne she can't imagine it wouldn't be scary getting attacked by something so small. Wayne starts laughing as spirit tells him it would never again him again, so forgive him. Wayne tells him he won't abandon him even if he did something bad, as he is the one who released his seal after all. Spirit finds this really touching and started crying. Sophie starts laughing seeing the spirit happy, and also Wayne is quite good dealing with problem children. Sophie contemplate about what Wayne said about problem children. The scene moves to Byako and Tuta riding the horse in the middle of the desert. As Byako sneezes, Tuta asks him, did he get a cold? He says no, someone must be thinking about him. Hearing this, Tuta gets irritated, as it was getting late for Wayne's team, so stopped by a city to sleep at an inn. It takes 4 days to get to Nelhuda by carriage, and lucky for them, there are quite a lot of inns comes on their way, so they can travel leisurely. Sophie is really happy as it's her first time eating on a trip with her friends. She finds it really refreshing. She gets defensive and tells Wayne it's like she wanted to go on a trip with them, as she will try her best to help him out. Wayne tells her she doesn't have to be so straight-laced as he is enjoying the trip as well. Kijin says it's more lively with Sophie with them, and also she wanted to eat a meal with her for a long time. Sophie starts smiling as she thanks them both. Suddenly, a guy loudly opens the door and sits on the table next to Wayne's, and asks the waiter to bring his usual. Other people started talking as he is the guy from the mayor's, and he thinks himself some big shot. He sees Sophie and Kijin and calls them, and tells them why not ditch that dull guy and come eat with him. Wayne doesn't care about him at all and kept eating his food. But Kijin gives him the dead look, and the guy gets scared and thought to himself, he can't lose, he have to confident here. He comes in front of Kijin and tells her what's up with her attitude. Does she know who he is? He is the son of the mayor here. Sophie tells him, well, in that case, he should be the one fixing his attitude. He asks why should he? Sophie shows him the crest and asks him does he recognize this. The guy runs out of the inn in a second. Sophie says what was that? Wayne tells her this kind of things often happens here. After 3 days later, they arrive. The Nullhaida and Wayne ask the spirit where does he feel the spirit's presence. He tells them from over there. Wayne tells them let's go check it out. They comes here and sees a statue. Salamander tells them that of the statue of Saloon, the goddess of the sea. Wayne checks it out and says it's pretty weathered though. Well, it was quite a long trip just to end up here, and think not many would come here, all the way just to pray here. Wayne asks the salamander is this is the place where the water spirit is sealed. He tells Wayne he can faintly feel her presence, but he thinks it's that way. That way is the sea. Well, it wouldn't be strange for water spirit to be sealed under the sea. But Wayne thinks why spirit presence is still only faint, as Wayne can sense that the statue is covered with a thin layer of mana. Some sort of spell must have been cast on it. Wayne uses his jutsu, places hand on the statue and breaks the layer of mana, and the statue starts shining, and a girl which seems to be the spirit of water appears and tells Wayne nice to meet him. Wayne asks her who is she and also where are they. She tells him that she is the goddess of the sea saloon, and this is a special dimension where they can hold their true forms. Wayne gets surprised to see this. Wayne says she does resemble the statue. She asks Wayne does he not believe him. Wayne he does. Wayne tells her then he must speak formally with a goddess. She says speaking naturally is fine for her. Wayne asks her why did she appear in front of him as he is not a religious person. She tells him she finds him amusing as it's her first time seeing a youth like him, mixed with a soul from another world, and using the power that's opposite of magic. Wayne thinks she can see a lot. He tells her what she is hoping to achieve by showing herself to him. She tells him nothing much as she just wanted to say hi to him. She tells Wayne he is burdened with a tremendous duty, and she is assured they will get a chance to meet again. What tells her what is she talking about? She says that's not something she will tell him as it's only for gods to know. Wayne says guess it can't be helped then. As has no idea what's waiting for him, he will just have to try his best. She tells him she has activated the spell cast on the statue, which will help him finding what he seeks. Wayne thanks her. She says if didn't have done that then he would have completely erased that spell. She tells him they have runs out of time and says her goodbye to him. Wayne comes in front of the statue. Sophie says what's wrong? He says nothing and says let's try it out. He uses the spell and creates a passage under the sea which has mansion under the sea. They all are surprised to see this. Sophie says if the spell will be activated by touch then it would have been famous by now. Wayne tells her he used his Onyu Jutsu to activate the spell. Sophie finds Onyu Jutsu really convenient. Wayne tells them that it looks like temple under the bottom of the sea. Salamander says he can feel the water spirit ahead of them. They move forward and Wayne thinks finally he is going to meet the water spirit and he might be able to shed light on some mysteries. Outside back at the statue a guy is there and sees that there really is a spell casted on this statue and says he should hurry up and do his job. Back inside the TED, Wayne finds something. A mermaid chained up inside a crystal. Salamander says she is the water spirit. Now they have found the spirit. Wayne says let's start releasing the seal. Salamander say this seal cannot be broken half-heartedly. Sophie tells Wayne she also agree as they need first order magic to break the seal. Wayne says if it's the same as with the salamander, then it should be easy for him. Kijin tells Wayne to be careful as they don't know if it will attack them as soon as it is released. Wayne puts his hand on the chains and breaks them easily instantly, and she falls into Wayne's arms. Sophie didn't like that at all and gets jealous. Salamander couldn't believe what he just saw and asks Wayne who is he. Wayne tells him he is just an average exorcist. Kijin says he is the strongest exorcist. Wayne says okay. Spirit wakes up and asks Wayne who is he. Salamander greets her and tells her she is released from her seal, and this guy helped him out. She tells Salamander then he is the one who brought these people here. That guy comes from behind and tells them good job, as he would have never thought you guys would be so kind to release the seal for him. They all get ready to attack. Wayne tells them to stand back and leave it to him. Spirit asks Salamander did he also bring him here. He says no. He tells Undyne to let him deal with him. She says okay as she just got released and her memories are still a little hazy. Wayne thinks he didn't notice him at all, as this guy is much stealthier than the other magician that showed up in Culbut. Wayne asks him who is he. He tells him he can call him a villain, and if Wayne hand over the spirit, he will at least spare his life. And he sees the lizard spirit too, and tells Wayne if he hands them both of these spirits, he will pretend he never met them. Wayne says, allow me to offer you a counter proposal. Wayne says, tell me about your organization and piss off. He tells Wayne you might not be able to tell the difference between their powers, so tells Wayne he might end up dying if he is too cocky, and tells Wayne there's no going back and takes out his sword and charges towards Wayne. Spirit thinks Wayne might get hurt as he doesn't seem strong. Salamander tells her Wayne is stronger than him, so don't worry. Wayne easily blocks his attacks with his sword. He gets surprised and asks him who is he, as he doesn't have any mana and yet can use magic. Wayne tells him this isn't magic, it's called Onyu Jutsu. He doesn't understand Wayne. Wayne says okay, let him show you the power of Onyu Jutsu. The guy thinks he needs to get a little serious too and create 5 clones of himself. Sophie is shocked to see this, as he did this without a chant and looks really strong magician too. Wayne tells him does he really think such child's play would work on him. He tells Wayne then show him that it doesn't and charges towards Wayne and attacks him, but blocks his attack easily and comes behind the real one and cuts him, but it wasn't the real one. Kijin is shocked to see that Wayne was wrong. Wayne tells him he is quite devious, as he wasn't wrong when he was about to cut it and he changed places with a clone, which means he can use his copies as scapegoats. Guy tells him that is correct and says just because you understand his technique it doesn't mean he can deal with him. He comes behind Wayne and was about to cut him. Wayne quickly blocks him attack. Then the villain again attacks Wayne, but he still easily dodges them. Villain thinks he is really strong, then uses all his clone and fires spell at Wayne. He easily dodges his attacks and says it's about time to finish this. Villain says his bluff won't work on him. Suddenly he feels chills. Wayne comes down and tells him let me show you whether it's a bluff or not. Villain calms himself down. His Onyu Jutsu must be defensive technique, as he has not attacked him yet, as he must be planning to escape by bluffing to buy some time. Wayne tells him to keep using his clones or otherwise it won't be any fun. Wayne gets ready to attack him and instantly cuts through him. Villain couldn't believe what just happened. Wayne tells him if he is going to change places with his clones, then he will just attack all of his clones at the same time, and ask him what does he think about Onyu Jutsu. Sophie thinks Wayne easily overwhelmed that magician. Just how strong does Wayne really is? Kijin thinks Wayne has gotten really strong as he is regaining his powers at a terrifying pace. Water Spirit is shocked to see this and says how can a human be this powerful? Salamander tells her he doesn't know, so they shouldn't get on his bad side ever. Villain tells Wayne he wasn't serious till the very end. Wayne tells him this would have easier to him to understand this way the difference in their powers. Wayne asks him to tell him about his organization and what are they after. He tells him he is not going to tell him anything and takes out a blue ball and vanishes in front of them. They get surprised as Wayne let him get away.